Hi, I'm Jason Broniak. On May 20th, you may see lions, zebras, giraffes, and all sorts of animals running at County Farm Park. However, this is for a good cause. The Safari Run to Uganda 5K is on that day, and with me is Dr. Cynthia Brown, the race director, to talk all about it. Welcome to the show, Cynthia.
Thank you.
So, Cynthia, how did the idea of this 5K came together?
Well, we are raising money for our nonprofit, which is called Building Up, Partnering in Health and Wholeness. It's an Ann Arbor nonprofit, and we were enticed to build a hospital in Uganda, in a very underserved area of Uganda, and we need to do fundraising. Some of us have just gotten back from Uganda, where we opened the hospital at the end of February, and we have a lot of ongoing needs because the hospital, although it's a beautiful 5-story hospital, it has almost nothing in it. And so we need equipment. We even though we saw over 450 patients, we couldn't do any x-rays, we couldn't do blood work, there's no surgery equipment. And so it's an ongoing run. This is our 3rd annual to raise money. And of course, the hospital will require money to maintain. So that's where it got its start.
Gotcha. And you mentioned 5 years, or not 5 years, I'm sorry, 3 years of this run. What is different from this year compared to the last few years?
Well, the first year we were all virtual because the city wouldn't let us gather because it was COVID. So last year was our first in-person one. This year, we have extended it to have a trot. So that's for 1 to 3-year-olds. And it's going to be about 100 feet, we think. We just thought that would be kind of fun. It's free for those children if they have a paying adult. And then there's a 1.1 mile fun run for ages 4 and up. And anybody who finishes will get a medal, and t-shirts are extra for that. But children are only $10 registration, and but we make no money on that. So they have to pay extra for a t-shirt, but they do get a great medal in the shape of Africa. And then there's a 5K as well. This is all untimed, it's self-timed, but we give prizes for the best African animal costumes. And last year, most of the children came in costumes, and many of the adults. We're hoping this year to have even more because everybody had a lot of fun. This is a fun family event.
Now, I know it's on May 20th. Now, is this run going on rain, shine, no matter what?
Yes. In fact, last year we had a huge thunderstorm between the races, but we were undeterred. We gave prizes out. We have rented the pavilion, so there is a place to stand out of the rain. And so regardless of the weather, we will be going.
Well, I guess you can have aquatic animals on there. You dress up too if it ever does rain on that day.
There are hippos.
There you go. There, we get some hippos out there, and that'll be all settled then. And then you mentioned the medal. As you can see behind me, my wife, who's a runner, collects medals. Now, where did the idea of the medal come from? And is it the first time that you had medals since this is the 3rd annual?
No, we've had medals every year, and the medal is in the shape of Africa. And there's a big star where Uganda is. And so we just thought that was just a really fun, different kind of medal.
And then you also mentioned t-shirts. Now the t-shirts is for additional purchase, correct?
With the adults, they get a t-shirt with their registration. But with children and teenagers, they have to order one extra because their registration is so much less.
And what are the design, or what's the general look of the t-shirt?
The t-shirt also has the shape of Africa on it. It's blue with white, and it says Safari Run to Uganda 2023. It's actually quite a nice t-shirt. And then we have the sponsor names on the back and their logos.
And then you mentioned the hospital. Is it 100% of the proceeds of the race is going to that, or is it just to fund the run itself a little bit, then all the rest is going to the hospital? How's that broken down a little bit?
We have to pay for the t-shirts. We do have some grant money to pay for a little bit of the t-shirts and a little bit of the medals. And but so most of the money is going to the hospital.
kind of briefly touched on it, but what is exactly needed? It sounds like it needs a little bit of everything, but is there a focus of what they really, like top priority needed at the hospital?
Their top priority is some x-ray equipment and some lab equipment. They said we can wait a little bit on surgeries. You can always send people to a different city to get surgery. But the fact that they want a microscope, they want equipment so you can do blood work. And so when we were down there, we couldn't really evaluate people very well. And so that was hard. It was like medicine from 200 years ago in a way. I mean, wow. we couldn't do much, but we helped a lot of people still. But we would like to be able to get x-rays, and a lot of pregnant women came in and they wanted an ultrasound to see how they were coming along, and we couldn't do that.
Oh, wow. And where exactly in Uganda, and I saw some photos of the hospital, where exactly it's at, and is it easy to get to as far as for the villagers or for the city folk or any folks?
Yeah, there's no other hospital within 35 kilometers, which doesn't sound like a very far distance for us. But keep in mind, they're mostly walking. The roads are quagmires of mud in the rainy season. And so travel is very difficult. Some people are lucky they might have a bicycle. There are a few motorbikes around, but they walk, and the people came from miles away, and they walked and they sat and started coming at 6 a.m, and maybe we didn't see them until 4 p.m, and they stayed all day, and they were so excited about getting to see a doctor.
And how exciting for you to see them, because I've got to imagine this is some fulfilling work. I mean, I know it's nice to be at home and do it, but like to see somebody who hasn't seen a doctor in probably ever potentially, or at least years. How's it for you?
Walk 20 miles to get to a doctor, and then often they have no medicines. They have nothing. We had a lot of medicines, so we could give medicines out freely. We also had 2 dentists working, so they saw a lot of people. We will be hiring a dentist. We have hired a doctor to be the medical director, and we have a weekend doctor, and we've hired a nurse and a midwife, and so we have to pay them. Now, of course, scales of income are nothing like what they are in this country, but still, that's an ongoing expense that we have to meet now every month, and we don't want to let them down and say that we have to start letting people off. We wanted to have them know that this is a steady job, and we will come through with their salary every month.
And if you want to participate, but say you can't make the date itself or be there at the park, is there other ways to participate in the run?
It can also be virtual. So that's a virtual option, and it's on runsignup.com, or there's also a dedicated donation button. And if you don't want to do that, but just want to donate, we would be grateful for that. And you could hit that button and it goes through PayPal.
Excellent. And say if you can't run for some reason, but I'm assuming volunteers are still needed for the day of the event. What kind of help do the volunteers are looking to do if you're looking to volunteer?
Well, we need people to help hand out the t-shirts, because people come for the t-shirts, hand out medals at the end, man the water table. So we have people are getting water, make sure that nobody's going off the beaten track, so to speak. There's a lot of work with cleanup, make sure that people haven't dropped things along the path. And we have face painting. We need more face painters this year because our 2 biggest face painters were not able to help us this year. So we're looking for face painters who would volunteer their time. And last year we also had balloon animals for kids, and they paid a little bit extra for a balloon animal, and our balloon animal person could not make it this year. So we would love to have somebody who knows how to do balloon animals to help volunteer for that.
So this is a call out for everybody at home watching. We need some face painters, and we need some balloon animal experts, preferably in the African animal realm. So if you know how to do some giraffes and elephants and some lions, all the help we can get.
I think often the face painters, they have pictures, they have photographs of how to do it that they can just kind of copy. So they don't have to come up with it de novo.
Good, because if you asked me to do that, I would say you would have a lot of disappointed kids if you had me trying to paint their faces.
Yeah. And then there's the issue is how do they contact us if they want to volunteer? Well, probably the best way is either to call me, and my phone number is 734-516-6749, or send me an email at cynthia.brown, Brown has an E on the end, at stjohn.org. And we would be very much grateful to have you come and help us.
There's the call. You have to go and do it now. And say if you get this video at the last second and you want, can you just go to the park on that day and do a last second sign up and run, or do you have to sign up on the website before?
No, we'll take last minute people. We will have a few extra t-shirts, but we may not be able to have one in your size.
And how many people are you looking to have this year? And what's the goal as far as to you're trying to hit as far as number of runners or families?
Hit for 200 this year, and we're hoping every year it gets bigger and bigger. And there's plenty of room if you don't know County Farm Park, which is next to the rec center on Platte, just off of Washtenaw. And it has a wonderful little playground with it. It has restrooms, and it has very nice trails. And so it's a wonderful resource for the community. And it starts at 9 in the morning, and it should be done with all the running by 11 or 11:30.
Well, you're giving me a lofty time for running there, because I haven't ran in a while. I don't know if 11:30 will be enough for me personally, but I would assume most of the kids and other families can definitely make it by 11:30.
Many people just walk the course.
So if you can walk an hour, you can do this race. I always people always think 5K is a little too far, or it's not for me, but if you can walk an hour, you could probably do the 5K.
Right. Remember, it's not 5 miles, it's 5K. That's only a little over 2 miles.
And what's your favorite part of the event? I'm assuming, I mean, there's got to be a whole bunch of things that's your favorite, but I mean, watching kids run around with face painting, pretending to be every animal in the book's got to be fun.
It's so fun, and they get so excited. And then to line them up to judge for who is going to get the best prizes. Oh, that was so hard, because you wanted to give prizes to everybody, but that's not how life works. And so we had decided, no, we have the top 3 prizes, and it wasn't an easy decision. But it was so fun to see these kids, and it's going to be really fun to see the toddlers, I think.
Excellent. Well, I show my wife the medal. She will be more than interested in this run. Is there anything else you would like to add?
The registration is on runsignup.com, and they'll say, look for a race. It's Safari Race to Uganda. And it will pop right up, and very easy to register.
There you go. Very easy to register, everyone who's watching this. Go and sign up if you have the chance. Cynthia, Dr. Brown, thank you so much for your help. Thank you so much for your work in an area that definitely needs the help. And thank you again for your time.
You are certainly welcome. Thank you for having me.
For more of our programming and services, visit a2gov.org/CTN. Thank you for joining us.